All right, you ready to go? All right, we're ready. Now, we talked about why events. We talked about some core principles. Belief is one. Your belief is critical. Your belief is strong enough, everything will take care of itself. Your story, the story as the fundamental story of your event is very, very important. Repetition. You got to pound on it for forever, building from event to event, and problem solving, okay? These are the 4 principles so far. Then, what are we, number 5? Leadership, when it comes to this, is it's really about your commitment. Your commitment to the event itself. Your commitment is critical, okay? If you're committed to making this happen, then you'll make it happen. If you solve the problems, and anything is just a problem to solve. You know, you're saying, how am I going to get 100 people at the event? Well, if you want to get 100 people at the event, and you have some options, right? Option 1, 100 people. Option 1 is you could recruit and invite 100 yourself. That seems hard. Option 2, you could get 5 people who each get 20. That'll get you to 5 people on your team, each get 20. You and 4 other people, each bring 20 from your team. That's another way you can go. Another way you can go is you can get 10 people to each get 10. Or you could get 20 people to each get 5. You can get 30 people on your team to each get 3. You can get 50 people on your team to each bring 2. Solve the problem. You could solve it by doing a lot here. You could solve it by bringing in some leaders and encouraging them to do it. You could solve it by getting more people to do a little bit less. You could solve it by a combination. Maybe you get a few people get 20, some people get 5, some people get 2, and you bring a bunch. Yeah? So solve problems. Set an expectation that this is important. Let people on your team know that if you're part of this team, we go to the events. You hear me, Alex? If you're part of this team, you're part of the 60, you need to be at this event. This is critical. Set the expectation. It's not an exception when somebody comes, and it's an exception when somebody doesn't. That's how important it is. Okay? Set the expectation. Next. I use peer pressure, positive and negative. I use peer pressure. Why? Because my belief in them attending the event is super important. So I use all the tools at my disposal, emotional and otherwise, in order for people to attend the events. So what's some ways that you could use peer pressure to promote your company convention? You could post a list of all the people who are attending the event from your team. You could post another list of people who've chosen not to attend. And what would that do? That would immediately put a spotlight on the issue and make people want to go from one group to another group. It's a process of what I call inclusion and exclusion. And what I mean by this is, if you register for the event, we're buddies, we're friends, we're talking, I see you, we get a big hug. If you don't attend, if you're not planning to attend the event, I can't have a lot of time for you. And the reason why is you're a dead man walking. You're probably not going to be around. So I love you. If you attend, I'd love to be able to hang out more. But it's really that important that you attend. So you're like, I can't believe you'd use peer pressure? That seems like manipulative. If you want to call it that. Here's what I will tell you. Every culture in the world has created a culture using these tools. You go into the military, it's an expectation that you're going to do this. There's peer pressure, because if you don't do what you need to do, the whole platoon has to do push-ups. The whole platoon misses their day off. So there's peer pressure for you to be able to be involved. There's inclusion. There's recognition. We're going to recognize people who are registered for the event, and by default, we're not going to recognize people who aren't going to the event. Okay? Building a sense of identity and adventure around this is what leaders do. I'll give you an example. There was a great example of leadership at this event that I just did in Prague 2 days ago. There was one group that in this section of this arena, they all had orange t-shirts on. And it reminded me of campaigns that I had, which is another element here. Campaigns that I created around events. What I would do is I would name the campaign. It would be the March to this, or it would be the 100 days to that, or it would be Breakthrough, or whatever we wanted to call it. And this group was from Italy at this event, and they all had orange t-shirts on, all of them. And it had something on the back that said, never quit, or something like that, never quit. And something else that I don't remember, but never quit, I remember being on the back of these t-shirts. And it reminded me of some of the campaigns that I've done in the past, which were, let's show up with our company flag, our country, or our state flag. Let's show up with our team logo. Let's show up with our t-shirts representing. I mean, this section, if I could show you pictures, during the breaks, like at a sports event, they had huge flags that would cover the whole section with the Italian flag, 3 of them stacked on top of each other, where they were floating this flag over and above the thing. They got recognized by everybody. All the speakers were all kind of directing towards them. They had a sense of pride. It was really, really fun. So I've done that. We've done scarves. We've done t-shirts. We've done special hats. We've created special pins. We had armbands that we used when we did a ski trip, so everybody could see who we were out on the slopes. We did it. We had little flags. We had noisemakers. We did all kinds of stuff, and people got excited being a part of that campaign. Everybody in this arena, I promise you, that I was just in, was wishing they were part of that group, because that group was having more fun. That group was really going after it. So create a campaign. What's a campaign? That and come up with a name for it, and come up with things that you're going to do in it. Create a team site, a private Facebook page for your group of just people who are attending the event, and bring them some value. Provide some recognition in there. Come up with some contests. The first people to get 10 people registered for the event is going to win. Come up with some incentives. A big one is events around events. Now, I'll give you an example on events around events. Your company convention might be boring. Maybe it's boring. That doesn't mean it's not important. Maybe they provide a lot of data and information, but not necessarily a lot of training, and your team needs training. That's great. Use the event, the convention itself, as a centerpiece, and then create events around the event. I will tell you what I would do. I would make sure my team stayed in the same hotel. I would have an event the night before the company convention for like 3 hours with my entire team. And I would just prep them on how to maximize the experience that they're about to go into. And they'd have a sense of team pride, and we're gonna go in there, and we're gonna be sitting up front, and we're gonna be excited, we're gonna be wearing, flying our flags, and we're gonna be using our noisemakers, we're gonna be doing whatever, we got our pins on, whatever we're gonna do, okay? And then during the event, there might be some receptions for people who brought 10 to the convention, or people who brought 20, or special recognition around people who rank advanced or those types of things. If you get a suite in the hotel, invite people to that suite different times. And then after the event is over, I always did a wrap-up event. So let's say an event starts on Saturday night, or stops on Saturday night. Sunday morning from like 9 to noon before everybody flies out, I would have a recap where I would say, here's all the information that we learned, here's what we're gonna do with it. And I'd recognize people, get people on stage and doing that. So whether it's cocktail parties, receptions, recognition parties, pre-events, post-events, getting together and just having a party during the event. All of those things will build your team stature and give people other reasons to come, other reasons to be a part of it. So campaigns, communication, contests, incentives, events around events, recognition, exclusion, inclusion, peer pressure, expectations, problem solving, commitment, belief, all of these things will combine to you being more successful at getting people to attend events. But it all comes from belief. If you just make this decision, then you set a goal. Let's go to point number 6. You set a goal. Next convention. What's your goal? What's the number? What's the date? And what's the number? How many are you going to have? Inside of GoPro Academy, here's the reason for creating GoPro Academy. I want there to be more millionaires created out of this group than any group ever created in network marketing. What is necessary for that to happen is for you all to get serious about picking this date. Okay? Get serious about picking this date and picking this number. And then at that event, you got to promote the next event. And then pick that number. And this number just needs to be bigger than that one. And the next one needs to be bigger, the next one needs to be bigger, the next one needs to be bigger. One more thing that I would give you on this, and then we'll start breaking down the different kinds of events. Details are everything. You want to become a world-class promoter? Details are everything. If a person tells you they're going to attend the event, does that mean they're going to attend? Answer is no. It does not mean they're going to attend. Most people are going to lie to you, or most people are going to say whatever is convenient when you're with them, and then they're not going to take action. Once they don't take action, procrastination kicks in, then they're not going to, they don't moving forward. They say, I'll do it later, and it's over. So details are critical. So detail number 1, their ticket, their convention ticket. Do they have it? Have them send you a screenshot. 3-way them into the company. They say, yeah, they're going to get it. You say, well, why don't we get it right now? And you pick up the phone and you say, let's call the company right now and let's get your tickets. How many are you going to need? You need 2 tickets? Okay, hold on 1 second. You're on the phone right now. Hold on. Let's just call the company. Hello, customer service. Hi, I've got John here, and John needs 2 tickets to the event. John, you go ahead and take it from there. Go ahead and give him your information. Now, John's going to book 2 tickets now because I made sure it happened. Or I say, do it and send me a screenshot. Show me that you did it. Provide an assignment. Assignment's critical. Number 1's the ticket. Number 2, hotel. Same thing. Do you have your hotel booked? No, I'm thinking about that. I'm going to do it at some point. I'm thinking about it. Well, we're all staying at the Marriott. Do you want to? We have a room blocked. Do you want to get a room? They say, yeah. Hold on a second. And you call the Marriott and say, hi, I'm with one of my colleagues. We're coming to the convention in September, and he would like to get a room at the Marriott, and I just wanted to connect the two of you. John, go ahead and give him your information. Now, John's like, well, shit, I guess I got to book a room. Right? This is what I did for 20 years, 25 years. I just did not accept somebody's story. I made sure that they booked it. Get your ticket, get your hotel, and prove it to me, or I'll do it with you. Then transportation. Do you have your airline? How are you going to get there? You going to drive? You going to fly? You going to take a bus? What are you going to do? I'm going to fly. Well, hold on a second. What airline are you going to use? Let me look it up. Let me see what, we just found cheap flights. Here's the best flight that we found. It's on this and this and this airline. Let me send you a link. Let's get it done. Other people told me they couldn't do it. You know, one thing that I did for years, is we would book bus tours, these big Greyhound buses, these big tour buses that could hold 50 people really comfortably, TV monitors, nice air conditioning, beverages on there. And they would drive 8 hours together or 12 hours together as a group, and it would cost them like $50. $50 each way to get there, sometimes even less. So $50, yeah. They drive down, they go to the event, they're like, oh, so they say, I can't afford an airline ticket. Well, can you afford $50? Let me get you a ticket. What's your credit card? What's your PayPal? Let's get it done. Boom. Okay? So it's detail to make sure these are done. Then you want to make sure they know the agenda and special events. Then they want to make sure any team stuff. We're all going to get there early. We're all going to be sitting in this section. We're all going to be wearing our t-shirts. We're all going to be having our flags. Make sure you have your noisemakers, whatever happens to be. So I would just go through the details. That's how I get more people to attend events than other people. Really simple. The details are everything. The details are everything. Remember I said the posers announce, the amateurs invite, the promoters promote, professionals promote. And this is part of promotion, is lock it down, lock it down, lock it down, lock it down, lock it down. Okay? All right. Let's take our last break, 5 minutes. When we come back, I'm going to break down how to use the same concepts in details to get people to attend your regional events, your local events, your monthly events, your home events, 2-on-1s, 1-on-1s, all of that. How to get more people to attend those events in our last section. We're probably going to end around 30 minutes or so, this last section will be. So we'll end, 15, 20 minutes, maybe early. Okay? See you after the break.